Hey everybody, it's Maximus with a Clearpool update. I saw this actually posted on their official Twitter space roughly 4 hours ago. This was posted, so this is actually the latest news in regards to what's going on with Clearpool. They did make 5 big points that they had posted. So number 1, Clearpool buybacks and burning. Where do CPOOL rewards come from? In the beginning and for a significant period of time, CPOOL earned through staking and farming will come from the rewards pool in the Clearpool treasury. Point 2 says initially 200 million CPOOL were set aside for rewards. You can see the current available amount of CPOOL rewards in this wallet. So if you copy that, you can view that if you have access or know how to do that. It says the rewards pool, all else equal, would of course deplete over time. Now, this is where I think really needs to be addressed. It says number 3, however, we want staking and farming rewards to last forever, right? I'm gonna pause right there. Yeah, of course, absolutely. My first video that I posted in regards to Clearpool, I got into it for the same reason a lot of you guys got into it. For instance, on KuCoin, if you were aware or if you weren't aware, when it was first introduced, it was roughly, I want to say like about 44 cents a token, and then it went from there to all-time highs of over $2 a token, and it sat that for it sat there for a little while, dipped down to about $1.25 to $1.50 for a while, and then of course the big crash happened. All sorts of factors, but nonetheless, a lot of people got involved into this project because of the high APR/APY of over 100%. Being able to stake through those promotions on KuCoin and AscendX and so on is why we got into it. So yes, we absolutely of course want the staking and farming rewards to last forever. So with that said, it says also in one of our next product announcements, you will learn about Clearpool reserves, which is essentially protocol revenue. That sounds really cool. So I would love to hear more about that. I imagine with their next upcoming AMA, Robert Alcorn and the rest of the dev team will address some of these concerns. It says this is generated through a spread taken from the pool interest payments. All right. Point 4, reserves will be used for 2 things: protocol development and maintenance. Number 2, CPOOL buybacks. Okay, that sounds interesting. So CPOOL acquired through this buyback model will be split and used in 2 ways. Number 1, to sustain rewards sent to the rewards pool. That sounds cool. Number 2, burned, sent to the burn address and never seen again. Great. Awesome. Finally, they're starting to address some of these concerns that some of us have who are investors in regards to Clearpool, in regards to, or I should say, what they plan on doing with the burning mechanism, or just burns in general. Burns are always a good thing. We want to see burns, so I'm glad they're addressing this. Number 5 says yes, CPOOL will definitely CPOOL will have a deflationary supply and CPOOL rewards will be sustainable perpetually. This is great news. By having a deflationary supply and the burns and the buybacks, but especially the burns and the deflationary supply, what this means for us as holders of CPOOL, this is tremendous because it tells us it's going to make the token more scarce. I love hearing things like this. And so anyway, it states here, if you want to learn more, of course you can go to this link right here that they have posted on their official Twitter space. You can see for yourself. Now, in regards to the topic of scarcity, I realize that sometimes people have a different definition of what scarcity means. Scarcity can mean one thing to one person and a totally different thing to the next person. You can have somebody you know, for the most part, the general population could, you know, think it means one thing, and then, you know, like I said, it could mean something else to somebody else. So, with that said, it says, what does scarcity mean in crypto? It says, when supply is greater than demand, prices go down. Okay. Now, just let's pause there for a second. A good example is this. Let's say you have like a new ERC20 token project, right? Those always pop up all the time, especially when it comes to meme tokens. Meme tokens. I said mean. Yeah, the meme tokens. Anyway, you know, the dog meme tokens. You know, those type of projects. They're very common, and they do pop up all the time. You knew this, you knew that. I'm not, you know, bashing that or anything. But in reality, when those projects come out, a lot of them, for instance, they'll come out and they have a 1 sextillion supply, right? But if they don't show any utility behind it, right, a use case, for instance, if they just show a roadmap of what's coming ahead, well, what is the only thing that's going to drive price action? The only thing that's going to drive price action at the time is to have a large community movement to get behind it, to hype it up, to show what's going to be upcoming, right? That's the only thing that's really going to move price. That, and, you know, being a brand new project. So right there, it says when supply is greater than demand, prices go down. So you have all this supply, right? But there's not much demand for it because nobody can really see the use case, because there is no use case out. Perfect examples could be, for instance, what's going on with Saitama. What's going on with Saitama at the current time? I hold Saitama, for instance, but until, you know, SataMask, for instance, is fully released, right? That demand isn't really there. Hence why a lot of the prices are going down on it. But there was a huge pump. Well, I should say huge, but a pretty decent pump, like roughly 20 to 30% a few days ago. And as a result, we did see nice price action. That's just another example. So again, on that topic, when supply is greater than demand, prices go down. So the point I made, that's a pretty decent point. Then it says when the opposite occurs, the opposite occurs when demand is higher than supply. We have scarcity. So, take a look at this, for instance. There is currently 53,126,000 CPOOL. You know, that is a significantly smaller amount compared to, you know, other projects that, of course, that have, you know, a quintillion supplier, sextillion supplier, quadrillion supplier, trillions, you name it. The point is that if you look at this, this is becoming more scarce, and I like that, and you should like that as well. So, for instance, it says, when demand is higher than supply, we have scarcity, which in turn leads to higher prices. So already we have a significantly smaller supply of the actual token compared to other projects, which I like. And then on top of that, the announcement of these burns and, of course, the buybacks are just really, really cool things. This should definitely excite you, being a CPOOL holder, and especially being a person who might be on the fence, if you will, on what to do with your CPOOL. Me personally, I would never sell for a loss. I still believe in this project, and I'm going to continue to hold. I'm going to continue to stake, because at this point, the reason I feel that there's still a lot of, you know, potential or upside potential in regards to this, is not just for those reasons that that you see here, but I just feel as though that, you know, by having like top influencers like, what's his name, you know, Cryptonauts, right? Last video I did in regards to all the FUD, I did mention that a top influencer, Cryptonauts, is the guy's channel. He's got close to 50,000 followers. It was just really nice to see somebody like that, who is a top influencer, cover CPOOL. You get more influencers like that, it's really going to help with the adoption. And then if you're new, of course, to my channel and new to CPOOL, you know, what am I talking about as far as adoption? This is what I'm talking about. You look at the current amount of holders, you know, this is not a lot of holders. And I get it, this particular project deals with a lot of institutional lending and, you know, there's borrowers and so on. It's not just about us being the investors who invest in the token. It's kind of like a two-way street, if you will. But nonetheless, we're into it, right? The average retail investor, you, me, and Joe Schmo, right? We're into this for this, right? We want to see this get back to all-time highs up here, you know? We want to see this go back to when we first saw this token project and then how it just boomed within a couple weeks to all-time highs and then kind of stayed above, you know, $1 for the longest time until, you know, that big crash, right? I still believe in the project, and my attitude basically is, yeah, these burns are going to be great. Yeah, the buybacks definitely help, and everything mentioned in that latest Twitter announcement. But, you know, we just simply need more holders and we need more volume. So my attitude is, you know, just hang in there. Don't give in to fear. If it becomes too much of an emotional thing for you, I mean, you know, of course you got your own reasons for getting in and out of any project that you're in. Me personally, like I mentioned, I refuse to sell for a loss. And if anything, you know, it's a buying opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but I do try to put you guys into the place that I'm personally in. And when I see it still being, you know, close to all-time lows, is still a buying opportunity as far as I'm concerned. You know, for those saying, you know, this is a rug pull, they're sure going through a lot of trouble to make this a rug pull. They show their faces. They do AMAs. Nah, in my opinion, this is not a rug pull. I would never promote a rug pull, and I just don't see it going down that route. So anyway, if you found this to be a useful video and it helped you out in any type of way, I would really appreciate you guys hitting the like. If you're not currently subscribed, by all means, subscribe. It definitely helps out with my channel and with the YouTube algorithm. And if you currently are regular to this channel, by all means, hit that bell notification. It really, really does help in regards to the YouTube algorithm. Those three things definitely help get this type of content out to more and more people who may be interested in Clearpool or other token projects that my channel covers. So just want to thank you guys again for watching tonight's video. I realize it's a late night video, and with that said, I hope you have a blessed day or night in this case. And with that also said, we will see you on the next one.